The Gundam AGE II Magnum is the main mobile suit from the Prologue episode of the brand new Gundam series, Gundam Build Divers. This new high-grade version of the Magnum retains the toyish geometrical design of the AGE series kits, mixing it with some spiky, clear Build Fighters awesomeness. Even though it's based on a 7-year-old kit, the Magnum definitely holds up, with killer articulation and a super solid build. But at the same time, doesn't really bring anything new to the table. A bit on the nostalgic side for me though, as the original AGE II high grade was on the shelves back in 2011 when I first moved to Japan, but all I can say is do not watch my Dark Hound review though.
Black and red with skulls, what's not to like?
Cringe! And once again, of course, this review would not be possible if it wasn't for those awesome people over at HobbyLink Japan, so if you want one of these of your own, then check out that link down there in the description. Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another Gunpla review, and today I'm taking a look at this, and of course this is the Gundam AGE II Magnum from the brand new series Gundam Build Divers. Of course, if you haven't seen the unboxing yet, make sure to check that video out. And while you're at it, make sure to mark the 3rd of April down your calendar because that is when the new series will start. And as far as I know, it should be up here on YouTube on the Gundam Info channel. Also, I will mention if you haven't seen the prologue to that yet, which features this mobile suit right here, then that's also on the Gundam Info channel if you want to check that out. And all I can say is so far it looks pretty cool. I was wondering how exactly they'd try to top Gundam Build Fighters, but the way they're going, I think they're doing it. Seriously, I'm sold to the avatars. A white weasel piloting a mobile suit? That is just awesome. But anyway, that's enough rambling, let's check out the kit itself. Once you finally get the AGE II Magnum out of the box and snap together, it looks pretty damn cool. Falling somewhere between the AGE II and the Transient Gundam with those clear parts, it looks pretty cool. As for plastics, we have a mix of white, grey, yellow, orange, that awesome clear green, and that purple. Sadly, the purple isn't great. Color-wise, it is a little bit on the dull side. This is that kind of plastic Bandai has never been able to quite get right. It marks incredibly easily. Nub marks, stress marks, seam lines, you name it, it suffers from it. Obviously though, that is just an out-of-box problem. If you're going to paint it, no issue. But if it's going to be an out-of-box build, make sure to cut off those nubs quite a bit of distance away from the parts, then file them down. That way you won't get the stress marks, but still this will take a lot more effort than your standard Bandai plastic. In case you're wondering, that AGEII in the center of the chest, that's just a sticker. But all in all, regardless, this is a very nice looking high grade. Moving on to the articulation, and there is absolutely no faulting this kit in that regard. The build here is absolutely solid with no loose parts, and without a doubt, you're going to get pretty much any pose you want out of this kit. The head is on a standard polycap neck, some articulation in the shoulder joint, the shoulder itself, on the shoulder, in the shoulder, rotation at the upper arm, bend at the elbow, standard ball and socket wrist. To get anything out of the waist, you need to pull that up, and then there is a bit of movement in there, but nothing crazy. Definitely an age-old issue with some high grades. Side skirt moves up and only up, full rotation at the waist. It's got that front skirting armor that if you chop it in here, they move independently. That's up and down. Very nice kick up to the front, out to the back, not so good. Bit of movement in the butt flap, full splits. We got a little bit of a side-to-side rocking joint in here, the only loose joint in the entire kit. Full rotation at the upper thigh, bend at the knee, could be better, could be worse. Ankle armor moves, rotation at the foot, very nice side-to-side pivot, and the toe section can move down. Whoops, and not to forget, forward and back. Next, onto the accessories, and here's the Gundam AGE II Magnum with everything that it comes with. So what we get in here is a clear stand, 4 F-funnels, and like you've seen already, these can attach onto the shoulders, but as well as that can also be held in the hands to be used as close combat weapons. These also have a bit of a moving gimmick as well. They can move all the way around like that, as far as there. Next up then, we've got not one, but 2 Shiguru shields. On the packaging and pictures and everything, it just shows the one, but in fact we've got 2, and they can be attached onto the rear section of the arm like this. Pretty awesome. As for ranged weapons, the Gundam AGE II Magnum comes with a Hyper Dodds Rifle Magnum. That's a bit of a mouthful. This also has a couple of moving parts, one up here on top, one down here on the bottom, as well as the handle. Next we have a pair of beam sabers, and as for hands, we've got those standard hands, as well as an alternate left fist and left widespread open hand. Lastly then, we have this little block section for the transformation to Phoenix mode, and speaking of which, let's check it out. And there we go, finally transformed to Phoenix mode, and this is definitely a simple and solid transformation. There's only one part that has to be parts formed out, and the rest of it you could technically do while it's assembled. It's just that joint in the waist that you have to pop out and replace, but besides that you don't necessarily have to take it apart. But there is one thing that can definitely be said for the AGE II besides that it's an awesome mobile suit, is that it had a really cool transformation, and that translates perfectly into this version here, the AGE II Magnum. This Phoenix mode is pretty much as good as a transformed Gundam looks. Pretty damn awesome. But anyway, as always, that is it for the review. If you want one of your own, as always, check out that link down there in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure to come back for more Gunpla reviews. See you next time.